Hey, this is Will Holmes. I'm founder of WHC. We are a business management and technology consulting firm, and we are DBE SBE MBE certified. If you're watching this video, you probably have some interest in seeking your own DBE SBE MBE certification, probably with the state of Maryland. Well, you're in the right place. We can help you with that. The purpose of this video is really just for me to level set, make sure you understand the things you need to know, and explain the real value proposition of what my firm can offer. First and foremost, you can gather the paperwork and go through the process on your own. You can do that. You don't need us to do that. The real value proposition for business owners that we work with is that you don't have the time, or you don't want to spend the time gathering 21, 22, 23 documents and going through the whole back and forth and submission process with the Maryland Department of Transportation. You prefer someone else to handle that for you. There is a cost for working with us. Normally, not to put this right up front, usually takes about 30 hours of work, which is why I would understand if you don't want to do this yourself. But for us, it does take about 30 hours, and we charge $50 per hour. So that is $1,500 for the service. If for some reason we think that it will take longer, we would let you know upfront. We have done this enough that we can gauge that pretty early on. In most cases, we can get it done in 30 hours. That's not a problem. We would let you know well in advance if we foresee some reason why we would need more time with that. Also, this is just focusing on one set of certifications with the Maryland Department of Transportation, but you would end up, by going through the process, getting your MBE, DBE, and SBE certification. The DBE is on the federal level, so that means you'll be certified as a business enterprise across the entire country for all 50 states when this process is complete. The SBE and the MBE are on the state level. Here's what you can expect by working with us. One, accurate information. If you've never done this before, and most people usually only do it once, it can be somewhat overwhelming and confusing. So we've done this enough times. We have our own. We've been in business over 18 years. We've helped many people get their certifications. And actually, up until this point, we have not had anyone not their certification that we've worked with. So we would expect the same for you. However, we cannot guarantee that the Maryland Department of Transportation will give you a certification. That is based on your experience and based on the work you've done, and really them judging that and determining if you are ready to be certified to do business with the state. That part is on you, but what we will do is advise you, and we would let you know up front. If we didn't think that you could get it, we would tell you up front and not, probably not continue to work with you because obviously we wouldn't want to be paid for something that's not a complete job. But you would need to work with us through this process to gather documents that we need so that we can check them, make sure they meet requirements, and then gather them up first, and then actually submit them through the online portal. Another benefit of working with us, besides us handling this back and forth and looking at the paperwork and make sure it's submitted properly the first time, is that we have subject matter experts here on our side, but also we work closely with people in MDOT and of course people who have worked at MDOT, so we can have that insight so we can help you to avoid trial and error. We have a team of people that will be assigned to you to help you to gather documentation. If there are things that you don't have, we can connect you to accountants and attorneys and bookkeepers or tax preparers, whoever you may need in order to gather documentation. As far as time frame, it really depends. For us, on our part, one thing we do is we make sure we work with you to gather all the documents before we start the submission process. Once you start the submission process with MDOT, the clock starts ticking, and if you take too long, they'll kick you out of the system if you start over. So to avoid that, we work with you first to gather everything, make sure it's perfect, and then we do the submission. As far as working with you on that front end piece, that really varies. Some people are ready to go. It takes 3-4 weeks to gather everything. Other folks have challenges. They haven't done their taxes yet, and it may take longer. Either way, we work with you and we are patient, but also we do push you weekly to get the documents we need so we can move you forward in the process. So it could take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks if you're ready. It may take longer before we to gather everything, before we do the submission. So let's say anywhere from 30, 60 days. Some people take a little longer, slightly longer, but usually up until this point, no one's taken longer than 60 days. From there, we submit your information on the portal. From there, it's assigned to like a case manager. They begin to review the documents, and then they may have questions. We would help you during that time to go back and forth and answer any questions you may have. If there are additional documents they may need or additional information, we would help you to gather that. And then also really assist you in talking to the case manager to make sure that you understand what's happening, what's needed. That process may take anywhere from 30 to 60 days. Certain times of the year, it's very, very busy at MDOT, so it may take them longer. Once they've looked at your paperwork and everything looks good, then they'll usually schedule some type of meeting with you. Usually it's via Zoom. Sometimes for certain businesses, they may require a site visit. Then they would come and talk to you and just make sure that everything makes sense. So what certification is really about is saying, hey, I have experience in this area of expertise, okay? So if you've never had any experience in an area of expertise for that NAICS code, there's a good chance you won't get your certification. On the other hand, one thing that's really great about what MDOT does is they will talk to you. So they may determine, hey, it looks like you may have experience in these other areas for these other NAICS codes. So that's great. We would certify you in these as well. That does happen pretty often. They're pretty great. They're great about that. Also, with this process, once they have talked to you, they've met with you, what you can expect is for them to create a report. Usually you don't see that. They submit that to the panel and with their recommendations. And then from there, you receive a letter saying that you have been certified. That's really how the process works. People say, well, how long will all this take? Probably anywhere from beginning to end, anywhere from maybe 90 days, 120, maybe even 150 days, depending how long it takes MDOT to review your documents and come out and see you and meet with you, and then do a report and submit it. So, but normally it takes usually about 90 days or so during parts of the year where it's not very busy. So I wanted just to explain those things to you. These are the same things, like if you were to schedule time, there is a link that you can schedule actual time to talk to me if you like about this process. But I'll pretty much say the same things I'm saying in this video. That's why I made this video, so I can answer the most common questions. Now, just be clear, I can't guarantee that you're going to get your certification. What I can guarantee is we'll be professional, prompt on helping you to gather information and talk to you on a regular basis to make sure you are moving forward. But I can't guarantee you get your certification. Up until this point, everyone else has, but I can't guarantee that part. That's really up to you and your experience. So I think those are the main things that people usually ask me. And those are the main things I really want to make sure that you understand. If you'd like to talk to me further, you can schedule time to speak with me about, it takes about usually about 15 minutes or so to kind of go through the information. Just to kind of wrap up, just to make sure we're on the same page. What we take care of is really advising you on what you need, helping you gather it and putting it into the portal, and then maybe some back and forth with MDOT to make sure everything is clear. Once you get your certification, you'll be ready to go off and do great things. We do offer additional coaching if you want to sign up for that. We've been very effective in helping people to get their first government contract, which ultimately what this is about. So from here, after you watch this video, please feel free to schedule time with me, or just go ahead and use the links associated with this video to make your first payment. Actually, it's really one payment. Make your payment of $1,500. That's for the service. One-time fee, we get it up front. That starts the project. And then also we send you a statement of work that details pretty much everything I've said here today. We need you to sign up on that. Once we get your signature, that starts the project. My team begins to reach out to you so we can help you to gather these documents so we can submit for the MDOT certification. I hope this was clear. Like I said, if you have any questions, just schedule time with me and we can talk about it. Otherwise, just use the links and go ahead and get started with payment, and which in turn we would then send you the statement of work to begin the project. I'm Will Holmes, founder of WHC. I look forward to working with you. See you at the top.